Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Belchan.
I'm Nimacung.
I'm Banchan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you. Chap. 27, Sec. 3 of Jane Eyre and Autobiography.
As.
Oh. Jane Eyre and Autobiography. Brontë. Chap. 27, Sec. 3. On chest. My brother in the interval was dead. 4 years my father died too. Indigence. A nature the most gross. And pure. Depraved I ever saw. Was associated with mine. Of me. And I could not rid myself of it by any legal proceedings. The germs of insanity. Jane. You don't like my narrative. Well. So. Finish it now. Idiot. Jane. Noxious and insulting sort of tribute. The teeth of those who offer it. Native to colours. Selfish hearts. It is a hybrid. Hearing of woes. Crossed with ignorant contempt for those who have injured them. But that is not your pity. Jane. Overflowing with which your heart is heaving, with which your hand is trembling in mine. Idiot. My darling. Is the suffering mother of love. The very natal pen of the divine passion. I accept it. Jane. Van. So. Proceed. Jane. I brushed the verge of despair. A remnant of self-respect was all that intervened between me and the gulf. The eyes of the world. I was doubtless covered with grimy dishonor. Contamination over crimes. And wrenched myself from connection with her mental defects. Still. Society associated my name and person with hers. And heard her daily. But and besides, then, and is now, inexpressibly odious to me. Moreover, that while she lived I could never be the husband of another and bitter wife. And to me, even in the particular of her age, as long as I mind that at the age of 26 I was hopeless. I had been awakened by her yell since the medical men had pronounced her mad. She had, of course, been shut up. It was a fiery West Indian night. One of the description that frequently precede the hurricanes of those climates. Unable to sleep in bed, I got up and opened the window. Air was like sulphur steam. She could find no refreshment anywhere. And suddenly round the room, the sea, which I could hear from thence, Wimbledon, like an earthquake, black clouds were casting up over it, was setting in the waves. Red and red. A last bloody glance over our worlds, quivering with the foment of tempest, was physically influenced by the atmosphere and scene. The curses the maniac still shrieked out. Such a tone of demon hate. Vocabulary than she, though 2 rooms off, of the West India house, opposing but slight obstruction to her wolfish cries. Said I at last, is hell, although bottomless pit, Hiking. Fish that now cumbers my soul. The Oi contained a brace of loaded pistols. I meant to shoot myself, and to take the intention for a moment. For not being insane, of exquisite and unalloyed despair, which had originated the wish and design of self-destruction, was past in a second, and rushed through the open casement. The storm broke, streamed, thundered, blazed, and there grew pure. I then framed and fixed a resolution, while I walked under the dripping orange trees of my wet garden, its drenched pomegranates and pineapples. Ran my was in this. Janie and now listen. Consoled me in that hour, and showed me the right path to follow. Sweet wind from Europe was still whispering in the refreshed leaves, was thundering in glorious liberty. My heart, on time, swelled to the tone, for I me so thirst for a pure draught. Possible. The sea below than the sky. The old road was beyond. Thus, go, said hope, and live again in Europe. Know what a silly name you bear. To you may take the maniac with you to England, with due attendance and precautions at Thornfield. With, and from what new tie you like. That woman, so abused your long suffering, so sullied your name, so outraged your honour, so blighted your youth, is not your wife, nor are you her husband. See that she is cared for as her condition demands. Done all that God and humanity require of you. That her identity, connection with yourself, be buried in oblivion, to no living being. Place her in safety and comfort. With secrecy, I acted precisely on this suggestion, not made my marriage known to their acquaintance, because of its consequences, and from the family character and constitution. Hideous future opening demanded an urgent charge to keep it secret, such as to make him blush to own her as his daughter-in-law. Desiring to publish the connection, he became as anxious to conceal it as myself. To England, then, I conveyed her, such a monster in the vessel, her to Thornfield, and saw her safely lodged in that third-story room, Goblin's cell. I had some trouble in finding an attendant for her. It was necessary to select one on whose fidelity dependence could be placed. Her ravings would inevitably betray my secret. Besides, Daisy Madam's weeks which filled up with abuse of me, pull from the grim sea retreat. She and the surgeon. Whence that night he was stabbed and worried. Ever admitted to my confidence. Miss Fairfax may indeed have suspected something, but she could have gained no precise knowledge as to facts. Grace has, on the whole, proved a good keeper, though fault of her own, of which it appears nothing can cure her which is incident to her. Harassing profession lulled and baffled. The lunatic is both cunning and malignant. Failed to take advantage of her guardian's temporary lapses, with which she stabbed a brother of her cell and a sheath thereafter in the night time, These occasions she perpetrated the attempt to burn me in my bed. The second she paid that ghastly visit to you, I think. Providence, who watched over you, that she then spent her fury on. Your wedding apparel, which perhaps brought back vague reminiscences of her own bridal days. What might have happened, I cannot endure to reflect. The fen, which flew at my throat this morning, visage over the nest of my dove. And what, sir, I asked while he paused. Did you do when you had settled her hair? Did I do? Jane, I transformed myself into a will-o'-the-wisp. I go? I pursued wanderings as wild as those of the March spirit, sought the continent, and went devious through all its lands, was to seek and find a good and intelligent woman whom I could love, but you could not marry. Could I not? It was not my original intention to deceive. Have deceived you. I meant to tell my tale plainly, proposals openly. Considered free to love and be loved, found willing and able to understand. My case and accept me while you are inquisitive, Jane. You always make me smile, eyes like an eager bird, and make every now and then a restless movement, as if in Susan's speech. Did not flow fast for you, you wanted to read the tablet of one's heart. But before I go on, tell me what you mean by your well, phrase very frequent with you and on through interminable talk. I mean, what next? How did you proceed? Precisely. Whether you found anyone you liked marry you, I can tell. You whether I found anyone I liked and whether I asked her to marry me, to be recorded in the book of fate. I bet. Living first in one capital, then another, sometimes in street. Petersburg, oftener in Paris, occasionally in Rome, Naples, and Florence. Provided with plenty of money and the passport of an Aloud. Name, choose my own society, no circles were closed against me. Ideal of a woman amongst English ladies, French countesses, Italian signores. German Gfinin. I could not find her. Sometimes. For a fleeting moment, I thought I got a glance, heard it, to unveiled a form, which announced the realization of my dream. But I was presently undeserved. You are not to suppose that I desired perfection either of mine or person. I longed only for what suited. Make for the antipodes of the Creole, I long vainly, amongst them all. I found not one whom, never so free, who weren't as I was of the risks, the horrors, the loathings of incongruous unions walled have asked to marry me. Close. I tried dissipation and every debauchery that I hated and hate was my indigenous Lena's attribute rooted. Disgust at it and her restrained me much, even in pleasure, to her, and her vices, and I eschewed it. Alone, so I tried. The companionship of mistresses, Klein weren't another of those steps which make a man spurn himself when he recalls them. You already know what she was and how my liaison with her terminated. She had two successors, an Italian, Jacinta, and a German, Clara, both considered singularly handsome. Few weeks, Jacinta was unprincipled and violent months. Clara was honest and quiet, but heavy, mindless, and unimpressible. Not one whit to my taste. Sufficient sum to set her up in a good line of business, get decently rid of her. But Jane, you are not forming a very favourable opinion of me just. Me and unfeeling, loose-principled rake have done sometimes. Indeed, sir, the least wrong to live in that way. To be continued.